So, hello everyone. I am Panji Barnes. I am the founder and CEO of Little Owners. Little Owners is a children's educational firm, and we teach children about entrepreneurship and financial literacy. And today we're super excited because we're talking with Remy Campbell, and he's going to be telling us all about the digital world. So, we're talking about Metaverse, we're talking about NFTs, and we're talking about how your kids can possibly monetize those video games that drive us as parents all crazy. So, without further ado, I'm so excited to have Remy here. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Remy. I'm a student at University of Georgia studying business, real estate. I'm a freshman, and yeah, I've been in crypto for about a year and a half now, and it's what I love to do.
Yes, love it. Yeah, my husband is a crypto. He has a crypto obsession as well, and so that's all I hear all the time is how the crypto market is doing. So
Yeah.
I'm used to that. But tell everyone about like crypto and why that's important. Just kind of like simple terms for just parents that are trying to kind of get their kids interested in it, and just also parents who may not have any idea about cryptocurrency.
Well, yeah, I mean, cryptocurrency is just a digital currency. So instead of, me sending my friend US dollars through a bank, I just send them cryptocurrency and it's instant, zero fees, depending on the crypto. Obviously, there's a bunch of different projects. And there's multiple types of crypto. There's the currency, like where I could send to one another, but there's also like governance tokens. And there's a whole other side to crypto that a lot of people don't know about. And what governance tokens are is essentially kind of like shares in a company. So if let's say you wanted to start a company on Web 3.0, and that's what we're going towards is Web 3.0, that's like blockchain, cryptocurrency, Metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start a company in Web 3.0, it's going to be decentralized. The whole point of it is that it's a decentralized just website, or just what Metaverse is going to be decentralized. That's the whole purpose of it, cryptocurrency. But there's got to be some sort of, company aspect, and there's governance tokens, which is kind of like Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
So Ethereum is sure popular. It's a blockchain. And if you own that cryptocurrency, you can actually get a say in what the DAO or the people behind the project are actually doing with that token and with that blockchain. So cryptocurrencies are going to be for a bunch of different things, as well as all these video games that these kids are playing. The currency, the in-game currency that they're playing with will be a cryptocurrency. So instead of that currency just being for the game only,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to swap that in-game currency that your kids are playing video games and earning, but they could swap that into a different currency, including USDT, which is USDT tethered, and then you could turn it back into USD. So kids will be able to play video games for money.
So the V-Bucks can actually be turned into a crypto.
Exactly. V-Bucks are
Okay.
good to be crypto.
Yes, because I hear my kids asking me for V-Bucks all the time, or they want the Xbox gift cards so they can put money on it so they can make the purchase. So
Yeah.
That's good to know that it really is something that we're going to actually use in the future on a daily basis.
Yep.
I love that. And then, so the other thing that I'm super excited about for little owners, my kids, they love art. And so we actually launched our first NFT. And we had the kids, I have two sons, Benjamin and Franklin, they're 11 and 8, and they created a piece of art and we turned it into an NFT. And we actually have it on Rarible, I believe, on that platform. So this is the first time they were able to actually purchase Ethereum. And then they use the Ethereum to create to pay for the fees to create the NFT. So that was a process that that was new to them. But I thought it was good to expose them to those type of things. What's your opinion on other parents who may have kids that are excited about art and, monetizing that?
Well, I mean, as we're transitioning to a digital space and the quote unquote metaverse that's coming out, everything virtual is going to be some form of art, and there'll be 2D, a bunch of 3D art, all of it's art, and it has to be created by someone. So why not your kids? It's going to be a massive industry. Artists are going to be super sought out for in every company. I mean, Walmart just announced the metaverse. All these different big top tier businesses will be looking for artists to create, NFTs for them. And so it's just going to be a huge industry.
And people are getting really creative. I've seen people that are making money. My husband the other day showed me a guy that was taking selfies of himself, and he was actually able to like monetize that and make millions of dollars. So it doesn't even have to be complicated.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the beginning stages
Yeah,
where the technology is so early, and a lot of these projects, I would have to say 98% of the NFT projects you see now won't be
yeah,
a thing in a few years.
yeah.
Because people don't truly realize what NFT technology is, and it's just digital ownership. It's the ownership of a digital asset. And a lot of these two-dimensional pictures, and I love them, I think it's great, but they don't really have utility, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't use them for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say I'm playing a video game and I buy just because I know kids love games, this is the easiest, but this is going to be for all sorts of businesses. I mean, car manufacturing, all of that will be huge. But let's say for video games, I buy instead of buying a $60 game, I spend $60 on a character NFT in that game. And with that character, I earn money. So those kinds of NFTs are going to be huge, like the three-dimensional interactive NFTs. Those are going to be big. While these two-dimensionals are huge now, I think the hype that we're seeing is going to die off a little bit. But you know what? We're right now, might as well ride the wave.
Exactly. Make the money now before we
Yeah.
transition, and then it becomes old and nobody can monetize. But I think it's great just to express yourself and to actually see if you can actually get paid off your art. I think it's a great start. What is your opinion on right now for Christmas? I have purchased my kids a couple Disney NFTs.
What
Yeah, from
platform did you choose?
Vivi.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm a huge VB fan. That is the
Yeah,
platform that
so
I got.
yeah, so when they have drops, it comes to my email, and I was like, my kids love Spider-Man and they love all these other characters, and so we got a couple of the ones that are just like the ones that kind of turn around just with like the one character with Spider-Man, and then we also got the Spider-Man actually the book, what do you call
The comic books.
the comic book,
Yep.
and yeah, so they were excited about that, and those are only two investments I've made on there.
Those types of NFTs are my personal favorite right now on
Okay.
Vivi because they are licensed by these
Yes.
big franchises. So they have the collector community behind them, and they're three-dimensional. And soon Vivi is going on to Immutable X, which is layer 2 of Ethereum. So I'll be able to pull that Spider-Man NFTs. You'll be able to pull those off at Vivi. And let's say you buy digital real estate and own a digital house on a different platform, you can bring that there. And so when you're in your virtual house, you can see your collectibles. So you'll be able to move that asset to different metaverses.
I love it. Yeah, I'm super excited. I feel like I see people that are reselling when they do the drop and they're one of the first ones to get it. And I really don't understand why at this point you would resell it. To me, it's something I'm holding on to for the long term because I really believe it's going to be worth a lot of money. So
Oh, those Spider-Mans. I mean,
yes.
did you see the market the past few days?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
it's nuts. It is
Yes,
nuts.
so I'm holding on, but I think that's a great segue into what you talked about. So I am a real estate investor at heart. That is what I do. I've done that since 2005, and so when you talked about digital real estate, like I just perked up, like, huh, what? How can we get in this? And I know you talked about the story. Well, just tell us the story about how you purchased something in the Bronx. Tell us about that, or
Yeah, so there's a game called Upland, and it's their metaverse project, and essentially all the digital real estate that they launch are linked to real world addresses. So Upland is going to these cities and getting contracts with the cities to allow them to launch their addresses as NFTs. So they went to the Bronx and they launched the Bronx. I went into the Bronx, and right when it dropped, it sold out in 10 minutes. I was just lucky enough to be one of the first ones into the Bronx, and I bought Stan Lee's house. So where Stan Lee grew up, I own his house in the metaverse. And what's cool about Upland, and I really like, is that it's partnered with the NFL. So the NFL is releasing their NFTs through Upland, and soon you'll be able to own MetaVentures, which is essentially just businesses in the metaverse. So the reason I'm purchasing all this real estate is because I'm developing property. I'm building apartment housing. We're building business fronts where people can, let's say you have some art that you want to show off. Well, you can make an art gallery, but in order to make an art gallery in these metaverses, you're going to have to own the real estate. So you buy the real estate, you make a house, and then you can make an art gallery so people can walk around your art gallery with VR goggles on and purchase your art. And that's the future. It's what it's going to be.
That's insane. So can you tell us that website again for people that like me that are interested in buying digital real estate?
Yeah. So it's upland.me on my YouTube channel at Into the Metaverse. It's literally just Into the Metaverse. I do a bunch of videos on Upland. So if you're curious how to get in, like what it's all about, just check out those videos. It has all the information you'll need. And yeah, I'm really, Vivi and Upland are my two biggest projects right now. So I was really excited to hear you mention Vivi.
Yes, I didn't want to do some off brand that may not be here next year. So yeah, Vivi is something I'm like always looking at my emails, like when is the next drop? So I'm excited. And then I also my kids have the Oculus, so they have the Facebook Oculus, and they've been with their all their friends got it for Christmas as well. So they've been playing, and it's so crazy to just see them standing in the living room and just like doing these different activities. So I think that's pretty cool. But can you explain to our audience that there's not just like one metaverse, because I kind of just figured that out, that there's like several different metaverses. Yeah.
So like Vivi, for instance, they're working towards the Viviverse and Metaverse. So they are going to build their own platform and they're going to sell their own digital real estate. And so the utility for that real estate will only be offered within Vivi. Facebook, they have the quote unquote multiverse. So on the Oculus, you can go into the multiverse and buy digital real estate right now. And it's their form of the metaverse. Upland has its own form of the metaverse. So all of these are going to have their own in-game economies. Fortnite will have its own in-game economy. But what's the beauty about it is that eventually, obviously not now and soon, but eventually all of them will be interconnected to where all the assets I own in Fortnite, I can bring to all of these other metaverses. And it's just going to be super interconnected to the point where there'll be one centralized location where, everyone hangs out virtually and talks and, does the shopping. There's like one large virtual shopping mall everyone goes to. But then like, okay, you want to go play a video game? Boop, boop. You click two buttons, your avatar is teleported somewhere. You meet your friends in this other metaverse and you go play the game. But the rewards that you earn from that game, you can use in every platform.
Yes.
So that's the end goal. But right now, everyone's working on their own metaverse. Okay. And the integration will come. It will come. And that's why you have to, there's so many different metaverse projects and NFT projects. So you have to be careful on which ones you put your money into and your time into, because only a few of these will eventually actually make it. And I'm sure, a lot of the metaverses that are going to be big, we haven't even seen yet. I'm sure a lot of them haven't even come out yet.
I agree. I'm like, I believe that like Bitcoin is like the coin that everyone's familiar with, but I don't know if it's going to be the one long term that we actually use. Like, Ethereum could win out, or some other coin that doesn't even exist.
I recommend if any of your younger generation audience wants to make and create NFTs, I recommend not using the Ethereum blockchain. Me personally, it's my least favorite blockchain.
Really?
Because you saw the gas fees, right?
Yes.
Like, those are nuts. And Ethereum's whole life, the only reason Ethereum is as popular as it is, and this is my opinion, but a lot of people I do this with share the same opinion. It was the first blockchain where you could integrate smart contracts, which is why it blew up, and it was revolutionary. But other and more efficient blockchains came along, and my personal favorite right now is Solana. Solana is a blockchain like Ethereum, but the gas fees, instead of $90, it's a fraction of a dollar. It's like a few cents max.
We paid about $89 for ours. So yeah,
exactly.
It was.
So did you use OpenSea?
No, I forgot the name. I have the app on here on my iPad that we used. But yeah, that doesn't sound familiar.
It's so the Ethereum marketplaces, the gas fees are insane. And if you want to make your digital art, why would you spend $89 to make it and then sell it for 20?
Right.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Solana, they have a thing called SolC. It's SOL and C, like the ocean. And you can mint your NFTs for super cheap. And it's in my opinion, it's a lot better than Ethereum. And I think what Ethereum's lifespan is going to be is becoming more efficient. You know what I mean? Like the whole Ethereum lifespan is going to be them figuring out ways to lower their gas fees.
They have competition now. Yes.
And now all these lower tier mean, newer but more efficient blockchains, gas fees are extremely cheap. They can work on actually improving the blockchain rather than lowering the gas fees. So I'd expect Ethereum within the next few years to blow up a little more, but then die and other blockchains will come on top.
Well, thank you for that tip. So in the future, when we create more NFTs, I'll definitely go with Solana. I think my husband actually owns some of that crypto. So that's where we'll be going, because I couldn't believe the fees it took just to create this. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on a Web 3.0 company. Basically, it's called a DAO, and we're doing it on the Solana blockchain because we cannot deal with Ethereum. It's
Yeah.
slow, it's expensive, it's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, Remy, this has been very informative, and I definitely feel like I have some homework, and I know my audience has some homework. Where can they reach out to you, or where can they find you on the YouTube channel to get more information from you?
Yeah. So, I mean, my Twitter's linked in all my YouTube channel bios. So if you just go to my YouTube channel, it's just at into the metaverse. So, that's all it is. And you can contact me there. I reply to all the comments. So, yeah.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and have a very good evening.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one.